It's the Vinyl Tag 2022. Sharing my answers to those 20 questions. That is what's coming up next. All right. Hello, vinyl community, music lovers, and anyone else who just happened to stumble upon this video. Welcome to Tone in Grooves. My name is Jeff, and this is the Vinyl Tag 2022, and I'm going to follow BarakaPDub, who kind of did a mash up of a couple of different vinyl tags that are going around, and he kind of came up with his own list of questions, by bringing those, I guess, two different vinyl tags together. And so I'm going to follow that lead and do it that way. So thanks so much for watching, for tuning in, and enjoy the ride. Okay, so first up, first question, favorite album of 2021? That's a difficult question. Lots of good records that I came across and CDs in 2021. But I'm going to go with Prince, Welcome to America. Was lucky enough to have been given this as a Christmas present by my wife. And it is the deluxe set that has 2 LPs, the CD, a Blu-ray of a Prince concert from that era, as well as a bunch of, like, a little booklet and a bunch of little knickknacks that are in there, kind of replica ticket stubs and backstage passes and stuff like that. It's kind of a cool set. Basically, I wanted the deluxe set because I wanted the Blu-ray. It's the only way to get the Blu-ray of the concert. So, Prince, Welcome to America. And, it was interesting when that first came out and I listened to it. I was like, not really a great album. Not going to spend the money on it. And then the more I listened to it, as is often the case, or was the case when Prince would come out with new albums, first listen, sometimes I would love it, and other times I'd be like, not the greatest Prince album. And then the more I listened to it, the more it would grow on me, and that's been the case with this album as well. Really kind of interesting that the vinyl sounds way better than the online stream. When I put it on and listened to it for the first time in the sound system here in the listening room, the sound stage is just fantastic. I mean, there's literally times when it's like surround sound. It's literally sounded like, voices and instruments were behind me, and I mean, just fill in the space. So really a great sounding record. Question number 2, a cheap record purchased in 2021. That also is a difficult question because almost every record that I buy is cheap. I'm a bargain bin shopper, so almost every album or CD that I buy is cheap, but I went with this one. This is Aretha Franklin, Lady Soul, an album that I found in the bargain bin at a local half-price books for $2. So picked up this early press. I'm not sure if it's an original press, but an early press of Lady Soul on Atlantic Records. The jacket is beat up, as you can see. The vinyl is decent, plays well, sounds good. Great soul album from Aretha Franklin for $2. Question number 3, the first person that you saw play live. So the first, nationally known group, definitely the first rock concert that I ever went to. So first band that I ever saw live was Stryper, contemporary Christian rock band, Stryper. This is Soldiers Under Command. It's on a white vinyl from, when is this from? 1985. 1985. I was in junior high school. Went with a group of friends from school and church, and I remember I didn't want to go to concerts after that because it was so loud. It was at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. The concert was so loud, it was painful, and I honestly didn't even want to go to concerts after that. I don't think I went to see another live concert until I saw Paul McCartney, also in the, that would have been late 80s, early 90s, the Flowers in the Dirt album, whatever tour that was, and saw Paul McCartney, and that was amazing. Let's see. Question number 4. A new artist you discovered in 2021. So this was an old artist, so new to me. And I knew the name, but hadn't really, listened in depth or really gotten into his music. So I'm going to go with Donovan. And this is an album that I picked up, obviously, in 2021. Sunshine Superman. My wife and I were out to eat, and the song it was Season of the Witch. Season of the Witch came on at a restaurant while we were having dinner, and I was like, this is a really cool song. Who is that? And like, oh, Donovan. That's Donovan that I had heard of before but didn't really know anything about. So found this at a shop in the Chicago area for $5. What appears to be an original mono press of Sunshine Superman. Cool stuff. Very good album, and fun to actually discover a new artist for me. Let's see here. An album with a sporting theme. The very first thing that came to mind was this album, Nick Mason, Fictitious Sports. Nick Mason, drummer from Pink Floyd, his solo album Fictitious Sports. Interesting cover with this it's kind of hard to see because still got the shrink on this one, but this kind of, I don't know, basketball court, kind of soccer field looking type of pattern on there. Interesting. And it's got I guess maybe soccer, or football, British English football on the back there. Nick Mason, Fictitious Sports. Let's see, where are we at? Album with a sporting theme. Concept album, a jazz album that I actually just picked. I literally bought this on New Year's Eve day. The family and I went out. The kids get a chance to spend all the Christmas money. We take them shopping. It's kind of one of our traditions every year. We hit some half-price books and some record stores, and I found this at half-price books. This is Max Roach, and it's the Freedom Now Suite. This is a reissue, originally released in 1960, 61, something like that. This 1960. This is a 1980 reissue. It's a white label promo on Columbia. It's a concept jazz album, all centered around civil rights theme, really. But the album has a mix of things. You've got songs in here like Drive a Man, which is, just says right on here, personification of the white overseer in slavery times. Then you've got songs like Freedom Day, which is about Emancipation Proclamation. You've got, songs like Tears for Johannesburg, which is obviously addressing at that point the apartheid situation. And, so it's a album of songs all centered around civil rights, race relations, and whatnot. Max Roach plays drums. You've got Abby Lincoln does vocals on a number of songs. Coleman Hawkins is on one song playing tenor saxophone. A lot of kind of African beats, kind of, different percussion. You've got congas and whatnot. So a really interesting, very cool album. Max Roach, Freedom Now Suite. For a concept album. Number 7, an album which features 8 or more people on the cover. I had to dig through my collection to find something. This is what I came up with. This is the Abbey Minstrels, an album called Pipe and Sing. The Abbey Minstrels are an early music group out of College of St. Scholastica, Duluth, Minnesota. So this is a private press done by the college. All early music, kind of, you know, chansons and whatnot on this label here. Very cool stuff. I love early music. And I also have an affinity for picking up, you know, kind of locally pressed, you know, private press records like this. So really kind of cool. Bought that years ago at Jaime's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And there's 11 people on the cover. Let's see. Next question is number 8. A record you love but haven't given much love lately. I went with Spoon, Gimme Fiction. Great album. I'm not even sure what year this is from. 2000s, somewhere probably around 2004, something like that. Great, absolutely fantastic album. Oh, 2005 says right there. 2005. This is like a special edition with extra, you know, demos and whatnot. It's got a little booklet inside and a poster. Really cool reissue. Fantastic record. Just really great. Kind of, you know, rock, but rock with some kind of funk and, you know, very cool album. Love that album. There, you know, when that first came out, I listened to that nonstop. Haven't listened to it in a long time now. So, time to give it love again. Let's see. Record you love but haven't. Next one. Live album. I don't have a lot of live albums. Probably one of my favorite albums is a CD. So I decided not to go with that. Although I am going to show one CD later. But the Bowie Reality Tour album is fantastic. I love that album. Don't have it on vinyl. Decided to go with this one here, the Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. This is a music for pleasure pressing. Label looks like that. Really kind of see what's the date on this. I'm not even sure when this concert was. 1964 looks like. Yep, recorded in, looks like most of these are August 1965. A couple of tracks are from 1964. 64, 65. Really kind of cool to hear the Beatles playing live. The crowd literally sounds like jet airplanes. That part's a little annoying, but very cool to hear them in a live setting. So, Beatles live at the Hollywood Bowl. For a live album, let's see, an album from another continent. This is one I just picked up right before Christmas. This is, I can't pronounce this, it's French, Gregorian Chant. This is on the British Decca label, pressed in France. So it's a French pressing of a British Decca. So England, but also Europe, you know. Really kind of cool, from like 1967, in this kind of cool gatefold. The record goes in this little pocket, and then you've got an advertisement here for a bunch of other Decca records. Very cool. A stereo press, usable on mono. So, Gregorian Chants, pressed in France. Album from another continent. Out of Your Comfort Zone record, purchased in 2021. I just recently read, and I can't remember the author's name now. It's a book called Wagnerism, all about, you know, Wagner's music and the effect that Wagner's music had on popular culture in his time, and in year, in up until the present, how Wagner's, music has impacted everything from literature to music to film. Really fascinating book. Wish I could remember the author now. I should have brought the book in, actually. Could have showed that too. Maybe we'll try to put that up. Anyway, cool book. Led me to wanting to explore Richard Wagner's music, and picked up a couple of Wagner operas. Opera's not my favorite genre of music, but I do enjoy it. And so I picked up a couple of different ones, but I'll just show Parsifal. This is on Decca with Sir George Schulte conducting. I'm not going to pull it all out. I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a big honking box set with like 4 or 5 records or whatever. So cool stuff. Been getting into a little bit of Wagner lately. Let's see. That was out of your comfort zone. A punk or new wave album. Punk or new wave. I don't have a lot of punk. Hardly any punk, really. And the album and new wave, I really like new wave. Boomtown Rats are probably my favorite new wave group. I've shown them multiple times before, so I thought I'd show something a little bit different. I don't know that I've ever shown this album in one of my videos. So this is the group Against Me and their album White Crosses. Punk group out of Gainesville, Florida. This was kind of their breakout crossover album, if you will. So technically does probably not even consider it a punk album. It's kind of similar to Green Day, I guess they caught a lot of flack for this album and kind of crossing over to more mainstream, but a really, for me anyway, a fantastic album. Basically a perfect album. I love this record. Good stuff. That's the label there. Not much to see, just kind of plain black. White Crosses, Against Me, for a punk album, a jazz album. I went with this jazz album here that was picked up recently. This is Chet Baker, and It Could Happen to You. Chet Baker sings. This is the Chet Baker album, which he does the jazz vocals, plays trumpet as well on a few songs, but does the jazz vocals. Originally from, when is this from? 1958. This is, and was excited to find this. This could have counted as the cheap find of the year. This is a Black Friday Record Store Day release by Kraft Recordings. It is on the Riverside label, obviously reissued by Kraft, obviously. It's the mono press. That was what was special, I guess, about the Record Store Day release. It's the mono press, and I got it at Half Price Books. A couple days after Christmas, their price was $12.49, got 20% off, so I got this record for $10. $10. Fantastic jazz record, really cool and interesting to hear Chet Baker sing. Good stuff, as with all the Kraft records that I've purchased so far anyway. Sounds fantastic. Highly recommended. Chet Baker, It Could Happen to You, for a jazz album. A soundtrack. This is a soundtrack to one of my favorite movies, and watched it not too long ago, and was just kind of like, got me thinking, did they make a soundtrack album of this? Did they do an album for this soundtrack? And went and checked it out. Yes, they did, but apparently not in the United States. European and British releases, if I remember correctly. Maybe just European. I think it was France and Germany where I found records from. Had to go online to buy it. Was happy to find it. Actually, Philadelphia Music through Discogs for like $6 or something like that. This is soundtrack from The Name of the Rose. This is composed by James Horner. It was a Sean Connery movie with F. Murray Abraham, Christian Slater. It's based on the book by Umberto Eco. Really cool period piece, medieval mystery set in a monastery. Very cool movie. Great soundtrack. Excuse me. Kind of hard to find. This is a German press, I believe, on the Teldec label. So, Name of the Rose. Good stuff. Recommend it. There's my soundtrack album. An album with no writing on the jacket. I just went with the first thing that came to mind. Don't have it on vinyl. To my knowledge, I mean, it's not easily available on vinyl, at least not in an official release. Went with Prince, the Black Album. So here's a CD that came out. This came out a long time ago, back in, you know, what, the 90s, I think it was, when Warner Brothers released this, or Prince released it. And when he was trying to get out of his contract with Warner Brothers, he had to do, you know, however many albums and however many years. And so he was just kind of just flushing stuff to fulfill that contract. So the Black Album was released on CD. To my knowledge, has not been reissued by the Prince estate. This is something that they should do. They should put this out. But there's literally, I mean, it's just black. There's nothing. The spine has like some, you know, like it's got Warner Brothers and the Warner Brothers address on there, but it doesn't even say Prince, you know, Black Album or anything like that. Really just a plain black album. No writing. So there's my pick for that category. Next question. A colored vinyl album. I don't have a lot of colored vinyl either. But this is one of my favorites. I love the album, and I really like the vinyl. This is the Vleets. The Vleets, kind of a little bit of kind of a psychedelic kind of group. This is a Feed Bands release. You know, Feed Bands. I don't even know if Feed Bands is still around. It was a kind of an online club subscription service kind of a thing. You know, release an album once a month and whatnot. Cool stuff. And the vinyl is this. Let's take it out of this very cool kind of purple splatter color. Very cool. Great album. Beautiful vinyl. Super cool. The Vleets. Vleets is like VLEITS or something like that. Let's see. The Vleets. VLIETS. Got the original Feed Bands kind of promo thing with it. The Vleets. Good stuff. If you can find a copy, pick it up. Highly recommend it. Let's see. Your Pride dig of 2021. This was a hard one, you know. Man, how do you pick that? You know, the album that I'm most proud of. I don't know. I had a hard time with that one, but in the end, there was really only one choice to go with. I mean, I picked up a lot of cool albums, and we've picked up a lot of cool stuff since moving to the Milwaukee area. But so went with something that really could have counted for the cheap record category, but my copy of Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon that I picked up for $4, $3.99 at the Exclusive Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A scratched copy, but very playable copy, with one of the posters and the stickers for $3.99. That's my Pride. I'm going with that. I'm going with that for the Pride, you know, Pride dig. I told the story about that in an earlier video, but just, you know, it was down there in the bargain bins and just happened to look down and in a section that I wasn't even digging in and saw it and grabbed it. So Dark Side of the Moon for $3.99. Let's see. A box set. I went with Kula Shaker. This is not a 2021 release. This came out a number of years ago. Kula Shaker, K2O, British band, kind of psychedelic rock band. Very cool stuff. It's got this, it's in this interesting kind of cardboard box. Here's the album itself. And in the box is kind of cool sheet music for all of the songs on the album, in this kind of, I don't know, vintage kind of looking style, but very cool. Very cool. I'm not going to go through every single one. I mean, just kind of cool stuff. Oh, can't even see that, can you? So, Coolest Shaker K2O. I don't know what year this is. I don't know. And I can't really see it very easily. Gatefold. Yeah. Good stuff. Coolest Shaker. That's my box set. Ugh. And coolest cover art of 2021. Also hard to pick, but a number of things, you know, for their cover. But this is one that I've been looking for a while. Jackie Gleason and Ooh. Jackie Gleason presents Ooh. I actually collect Jackie Gleason albums for the covers. Not necessarily the music, but for the covers. And this is one I've been looking for a number of years. So I picked that for coolest cover art. It's good stuff. Jackie Gleason, Ooh. And a VCLT record from 2021. I have never been the recipient of VCLT. I've never been given VCLT, so I can't show VCLT. Just haven't, no one's ever sent me any. But I can show one record that was given to me as a gift. My son bought me for Christmas this album, which is Prince in Jazz, kind of a compilation album of various artists doing Prince songs in a jazz style. You've got Nina Simone doing Sign of the Times, Herbie Hancock doing Thieves in the Temple, and a bunch of other people that I've never heard of before. Very cool record that was given to me as a Christmas present by my son. That's it. That's my vinyl tag 2022. Thank you so much for sticking with it, for listening in, for joining me on this little trip, for watching, for commenting. Drop some comments. Love to have some conversation about any of this stuff. And until next time, stay in the groove.